Good morning. My name is Andy Gray. I'm currently a member of the Education Advisory Board at Lighthouse Learning. I've worked with Prajoda and Natasha in different capacities for over 20 years. Prior to that, I headed 3 schools in the UK, 2 of which were Cambridge schools, and was headmaster of a 4th here in India, which was a CBSE school. I'm delighted to be talking to you this morning. Cambridge, or Cambridge Assessment, was originally founded way back in 1885, so it's been around a long time and is still growing. Today, it is the world's largest provider of international education programs and qualifications for 5 to 19-year-olds. A not-for-profit department of Cambridge University, it provides examinations and qualifications for nearly 10 lakh pupils worldwide every year in over 10,000 schools, 400 of which are in India. Cambridge qualifications are recognised for the purpose of university entrance in all British universities, in over 800 American universities, including Ivy League, such as Yale and Stanford, and in many other countries worldwide, including, for example, Australia, New Zealand, and all the European Union countries, such as France and Germany. However, it is completely wrong to think that Cambridge is only for those who want to study abroad. In India, Cambridge qualifications are recognised by 145 universities and colleges, including all the IITs, IIMs, all the major metropolitan universities such as Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai and Calcutta, by BITS Pilani, by the National Institute of Design, as well as by many of the new universities such as Symbiosis and OP Jindal. The list is long and it's growing. You will sometimes hear ill-informed comment that Cambridge does not provide a sufficiently rigorous curriculum for preparation for some competitive entrance exams. Let's hit that on the head now. This is not true. I'll come back to that later though. Internationally, Cambridge is also engaged in partnerships with 25 individual national governments, developing integrated curricula and assessment design, as well as associated professional development programs for teachers. Their global headquarters is in Cambridge, supporting regional offices worldwide, such as in India, those in New Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore, and Kolkata. Now, let me ask you a question by way of an illustration of the future. How do you feel about a world where prospective parents could design and modify their as yet unborn children, designer babies? Is that scary? Far-fetched? Yes? No? Well, actually, the technology already exists. The associated costs are dropping, and it could be a reality within a decade or so, certainly in time for your grandchildren. The reasons it hasn't happened already are mainly related to moral concerns, ethical considerations for some, religious beliefs, and of course, the law of the land which you happen to be living in. So do you want your child to have blue eyes? Do you want your child to be taller than you, smarter than you? Or maybe you want to eliminate a possibly hereditary genetic birth defect which runs in one of the parental families. Enter the genetic counsellor. Now, you probably won't see an advert for one on Naukri.com just yet, but we're going to need them to help prospective parents to navigate the ethical and psychological minefields around modifying embryos. These counsellors will need a deep knowledge of biology and genetics, as well as ethics, sociology, and psychology. They're going to have to be good listeners and have a high level of self-awareness and empathy. They're also going to have to initially navigate their own way through a new maze of possible conflicts and self-design their own work practices, so analytical and creative thinking. It goes without saying that they will need to be motivated, dependable professionals with a high level of technological knowledge and literacy and be able to inspire trust. So now, when you hear the statistic that 65% of children entering school today will end up working in jobs that don't even exist yet, this is the kind of career we're talking about. And it's just one example of the many future jobs that will pop up at the intersections between often wildly divergent disciplines and skill areas. Which brings me, as Natasha mentioned, to the World Economic Forum, which, as you all know, I'm sure, is the international members club for the biggest multinational companies. The WEF sees its mission as engaging with world leaders to shape new global agendas. One way they do this is by creating written reports to promote and provoke worldwide discussion, such as their Future of Jobs 2023 document this year. The top 10 skills identified in the report, with more than a little crossover with our genetic counsellor, please note, includes, among others, analytic and creative thinking, flexibility and mental agility, motivation and self-awareness, curiosity and lifelong learning, empathy and active listening. The massive shifts technology and globalization will deliver are expected to transform the workplace, and indeed the pace of change, as Prabjot indicated, will only accelerate. There will be increasing demand for data analysts and scientists, software and application developers, e-commerce, social media specialists, and so on. There will also be accelerating demand for new specialist roles, and as AI becomes increasingly advanced through the development of such tools as OpenAI's ChatGPT, the ability to work collaboratively will become a key job skill. So without doubt, it is also the case that we educationalists need to do a better job of teaching pupils to live at intersections of curriculum areas. In India, as Natasha mentioned, the government's new national education policy recognizes all these issues, in particular the shifting focus away from rote learning to an holistic, practical and problem-solving style. However, as the new policy itself admits, it replaces an existing framework which has been in place for over 30 years. Most schools will develop only slowly and take the framework on board in the fullness of time. And this is important because some parents may feel that they are not prepared to wait. I know I wouldn't be. After all, your child gets one chance at receiving a contemporary global education. They can't wait. One chance. The bottom line is this: there is no way to prepare pupils for specific careers when we can't even work out what those careers might be. Instead, the key to moulding job-ready graduates is to teach pupils how to live and learn at the intersections through the acquisition of contemporary skill sets as outlined in the WEF report. The workforce of the future will need to adapt to new technology and new markets on the job. Those who can adapt the best and fastest will be the successful ones, and most importantly, I believe, the happy ones. If you think you're qualified when you leave university, you're going to be a dinosaur by the time you're 30. Coming back to that issue of rigor, let's be clear, too often rigor equates to let's give them more homework. Some people seem to think lessons must be rigorous if they make kids suffer in school. This is errant nonsense. A rigorous curriculum is one that provides high levels of pupil engagement and learning. That often means being flexible with how we teach and creating lessons that drive conceptual understanding rather than regurgitation of factual knowledge. A curriculum is rigorous if it adopts to pupils' needs, not because it rigidly adheres to a textbook. A curriculum is rigorous if it's smart, not because it's long, heavy, unimaginative, dull, and out of date. So to sum up the benefits of Cambridge, it's a genuinely modern international curriculum to stretch, challenge, and inspire pupils, your children, who will be employed in the future world, not in the past. It's a curriculum that inspires a love of learning in pupils and an innovative approach to teaching in teachers. It promotes a love of lifelong learning. It provides assessments that are fair, valid, reliable, and practicable, since good assessment is both diagnostic and summative and is at the heart of any good education. It provides qualifications which are valued by universities and employers in India and across the world. And it's contemporary, global, and right here, right now, within your grasp for your kids. Last but not least, real life doesn't come with a set of textbook answers following an exact process. That's why it's essential that schools teach pupils how to solve problems on their own. That's what Cambridge does. Clearly, I can only say so much in a short webinar, but if you want to learn more about Cambridge and ask your own questions directly, I will be available in school to meet you, including at weekends. Just get in touch, make an appointment, and let's meet up. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you for your time.